6 foods that feed your brain after 60. Eat these to stay mentally strong. Boost cognitive function naturally with every bite. Have you ever walked into a room and then stood there, scratching your head, wondering what you came in for? Or maybe you've noticed names, dates, or even simple tasks slipping your mind more often than they used to. You're not alone, and more importantly, you're not powerless. Our brains go through changes as we age. That's natural. But the myth that mental decline is inevitable? That's just not true. In fact, what you eat can play a huge role in how sharp, focused, and clear-minded you stay. Not just today, but well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. You see, your brain is like an engine. It needs the right kind of fuel to run smoothly. And after 60, that fuel becomes even more important. Certain foods provide nutrients that support memory, protect brain cells, and even help grow new connections between them. Think of them as brain boosters you can eat with a fork and knife. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 6 powerful foods that feed your brain, literally. These are foods that nourish your mind, help keep your memory strong, and support healthy aging from the inside out. And no, we're not talking about fad diets or hard-to-find ingredients. These are simple, everyday foods you can enjoy right now. Delicious, satisfying, and backed by real science. Let's start with something you might already love. Berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. Whatever your favorite, you're doing your brain a big favor every time you enjoy a handful. Berries are packed with antioxidants, particularly a type called flavonoids, which help fight inflammation and protect brain cells from damage. As we get older, our brains naturally face more oxidative stress. That's just a fancy way of saying they're more vulnerable to wear and tear. Berries act like a little army, guarding those brain cells and keeping them in top shape. And it's not just theory. Research shows that people who eat berries regularly may experience slower rates of cognitive decline. In one study, older adults who ate blueberries and strawberries a few times a week delayed memory aging by up to 2.5 years. Just from berries. They're easy to add to your routine too. Toss them into your breakfast, blend them into a smoothie, or just snack on them fresh. Frozen berries work just as well, and they're available year-round. The next time you reach for something sweet, try grabbing nature's candy instead. Your taste buds and your brain will thank you. Now, let's move on to something a little richer. Fatty fish. Think salmon, sardines, mackerel, or trout. These are some of the best sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain health. Your brain is actually made up of about 60% fat, and a good chunk of that is omega-3s. These healthy fats help build brain cells and support communication between them. They also have anti-inflammatory properties, which can help protect your brain against aging and disease. People who eat fish regularly tend to have better memory and learning ability, and even a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. One study found that just 1 serving of fatty fish per week was enough to make a noticeable difference in brain volume, particularly in areas related to memory and emotion. Now, if fish isn't really your thing, you've still got options. Some plant-based foods like walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds offer a form of omega-3s too. But if you do enjoy seafood, try to include it in your meals a couple of times a week. Grilled salmon with a squeeze of lemon, or even a simple sardine sandwich on whole grain bread, can do wonders for your brain over time. And speaking of healthy fats, let's not forget about one of the most popular and delicious foods around: avocado. Avocados are more than just trendy toast toppings. They're packed with monounsaturated fats, which help improve blood flow. And better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients delivered straight to your brain. That's like turning up the dial on your brain's power supply. They also contain lutein, a nutrient that's been linked to better cognitive performance, especially in older adults. Plus, they offer fiber, vitamins, and a creamy texture that makes just about anything more satisfying. Try adding slices of avocado to a salad, spreading it on whole grain toast, or blending it into a smoothie for a creamy boost. Just remember, moderation is key. They're healthy, but also calorie-dense. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet or memorize a list of superfoods. Small, consistent changes can make a big difference. Just like watering a plant every day keeps it green and growing, feeding your brain the right nutrients helps keep it vibrant, alert, and functioning at its best. The truth is, it's never too late to start nourishing your brain. Whether you're 60, 70, or even 85, your body and mind are still capable of responding to what you give them. And every bite you take is an opportunity to support your mental strength, not just for today, but for the years to come. Now that we've looked at the sweet power of berries, the brain-boosting fats in fish, and the creamy benefits of avocado, let's keep this momentum going and explore more delicious ways to feed your brain. Because one of the easiest and tastiest ways to give your brain a helping hand is by making sure you're getting enough dark leafy greens. Now I know, leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard don't exactly sound exciting. But they're like hidden gold when it comes to brain health. These greens are loaded with nutrients your brain absolutely loves, things like vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. Vitamin K, in particular, plays a crucial role in supporting brain cell structure and protecting against cognitive decline. In fact, one long-term study showed that older adults who ate just one serving of leafy greens a day had brains that functioned like those of people 11 years younger. That's not a typo. 11 years. The beauty of leafy greens is how versatile they are. You can sauté them with garlic for a simple side dish, toss them into soups or omelets, blend them into smoothies, or enjoy them fresh in a salad. And if you're not a fan of kale's texture, try baby spinach. It's milder and more tender, especially when lightly cooked. The key is just to get them in. Your brain will know what to do with them. Now let's talk about a food that's more fun than you might think. Dark chocolate. Yes, you heard that right. Chocolate can be good for your brain, as long as you're choosing the right kind and enjoying it in moderation. The real hero in chocolate is cocoa, especially the kind found in dark chocolate that's 70% or higher. Cocoa is rich in flavonoids, those powerful antioxidants we talked about earlier. These flavonoids improve blood flow to the brain, support learning and memory, and help protect against oxidative stress. In fact, some studies have shown that people who consume moderate amounts of dark chocolate perform better on memory and problem-solving tasks compared to those who don't. That's a pretty sweet deal, right? Now, we're not talking about milk chocolate bars filled with caramel or nougat. Those are mostly sugar and very little cocoa. But a small square or two of good quality dark chocolate can be a brain-loving treat, and a little treat is good for your mood, too. If you want to go a step further, pair that dark chocolate with a few walnuts. Walnuts are another superstar food for brain health. They're rich in DHA, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that's been linked to improved memory and cognitive performance in older adults. What makes walnuts really special is that they support both the structure and the function of the brain. They help reduce inflammation, encourage new brain cell growth, and even support better communication between brain cells. Some researchers have even found that people who regularly eat walnuts perform better on cognitive tests, especially when it comes to memory, concentration, and decision-making. And you don't need a lot. A small handful a day, about 7 to 10 walnut halves, is enough to make a difference. Add them to your morning oatmeal, sprinkle them on a salad, or just snack on them plain. If you combine them with a little dark chocolate, you've got a brain-boosting duo that's both nourishing and satisfying. What I love about these brain foods is how approachable they are. You don't need a special diet plan, complicated recipes, or even a big budget. These are everyday foods that work with your lifestyle, not against it. You can build them into your meals gradually, one habit at a time. Imagine this: breakfast with berries and walnuts, lunch with leafy greens and avocado, dinner with grilled salmon, and a little piece of dark chocolate for dessert. That's not just a healthy way to eat, it's a delicious way to live. And each bite is a gentle investment in your memory, focus, and clarity. Because here's the thing. Your brain is still growing, still adapting, still capable of change. Every single day, your choices shape how you feel, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And while there are no magic pills or perfect diets, there are powerful, natural tools that give your brain the support it needs. Food is one of those tools. And when you choose the right ones, you're not just feeding your hunger, you're feeding your future. Let's keep this going, because there's still one more incredible food that deserves a spotlight. It's easy to find, simple to prepare, and it plays a major role in keeping your brain cells happy and your thoughts clear. And that food is something so simple, yet so essential, many people forget how powerful it really is. I'm talking about eggs. Yes, humble, everyday eggs. They're one of the most underrated brain foods out there. Why? Because they're rich in a nutrient called choline, which plays a major role in memory and brain development. Choline helps your brain produce a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. That's the chemical messenger responsible for regulating memory, mood, and mental function. As we age, our natural levels of acetylcholine tend to drop, which can lead to memory lapses and slower recall. But giving your brain a regular supply of choline through food, especially eggs, can help keep those signals firing strong. And it's not just choline. Eggs also provide high-quality protein, healthy fats, and B vitamins like B12 and folate, which are crucial for maintaining energy levels and reducing brain fog. Some people used to worry about cholesterol in eggs, but the truth is, for most people, eating eggs in moderation is not only safe, it's beneficial. In fact, whole eggs, yes, including the yolks, are where most of those brain-nourishing nutrients live. If you've been avoiding them, it might be time to bring them back to your plate. Try having an egg or two for breakfast, boiled or scrambled, or make a veggie-packed omelet with spinach and avocado for an extra boost. You'll be starting your day with a brain-friendly meal that's both comforting and powerful. Now, if we pause for a moment and look back at everything we've covered so far, it's pretty incredible how much impact your daily choices can have. Not just on your physical health, but on your brain power, your mental clarity, and even your mood. From berries that protect your brain cells to fatty fish that help you think more clearly. From leafy greens and walnuts that keep your memory sharp. To eggs that help your brain communicate more effectively. These foods aren't just meals, they're messages to your brain that say, I care about you. I'm keeping you strong. And maybe that's the most important takeaway of all. That it's not too late. You can nourish your mind at any age. Whether you're just turning 60 or well into your 80s, your brain still responds, still adapts, and still thrives when you give it the right support. Now, I know it can be overwhelming to think about making changes, especially when it comes to eating habits. But here's the thing. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start small. Maybe tomorrow you add berries to your breakfast. Maybe next week you pick up some wild-caught salmon or swap your usual snack for a handful of walnuts. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. The more you repeat those small, smart choices, the more your body and brain start to thank you. You may notice your thinking feels clearer. You may feel more energetic, more focused, or more emotionally balanced. And even if the changes are subtle at first, they add up over time in a big way. Food is not just about calories. It's communication. And every bite is a chance to say yes to a sharper, stronger mind. So I'd love to hear from you. What foods make you feel clear-headed or energized? Do you have any favorite brain-healthy meals or snacks you enjoy regularly? Share them in the comments. I read every single one, and you never know who else you might inspire. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps support the channel. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on more simple, science-backed tips to help you live fully, stay sharp, and feel your best at every age. Remember, your brain is one of the most powerful tools you have. Treat it with care, feed it with love, and it will serve you well for many years to come. Here's to living with clarity, purpose, and joy, no matter your age. Stay well, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.